Nigeria's equities markets recording marginal gains at today's trading following Monday's bearish session. This comes after the exchange briefed market stakeholders on the performance of the market in 2020 and their outlook for the rest of this year. And I have Rotimi Fakayejo, just a stockbroker and capital market analyst. He joins me now as we look at what's playing out in the equity space in Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time on the show today, Rotimi. First, let's get into the performance of the markets today. We're seeing, how things played out here. Market is down marginally about 0.07%. We're seeing some of the sectors here and the top decliners here. Adova down 1.70 kobo. Boa Cement also down 90 kobo. What's playing out and what's driving the sentiment for investors today?
For Adova, I was seeing a trend in about a week when they made mention that they were acquiring a petroleum marketing company, and which is supposed to increase their market share in that space. But I believe that at a time like this, it gets to a threshold whereby investors want to relax. Some people want to opt out, having made some profit and take profit at this time. So that is for Adova. For Boa Cement, I think at the same time, so we've seen a good trajectory for that stock. So we expect that now and then we should see a situation whereby the price will dip a little before it continues again in that way. For the gainers, I believe strongly that we have not yet seen it the way we are expecting, because we expect that a lot of stocks are supposed to be on the move at this time because of the expectation of audited financial reports. Some of the companies have sent in their date for board meetings, and once that happens, the close period sets in, and we expect that as at that time. So at a time like this, stocks are usually very dicey because the major stakeholders are not supposed to participate in stock trading at this time. So what is actually driving the market now is a lot of sentiment. Investors are not sure of what the MPC meeting is going to be next week, and they do not, so that way they can't really make good decisions. So we may not see another trend in the market until until the MPC meeting holds, and we begin to see one or two results being released into the market. So that way investors will be well guided and be able to make decisions for optimal value.
All right, now I want to get into what's we're seeing play out with the insurance and sector right now, because it seems to be an outline in the market today. We've seen a very strong rally in the past couple of weeks, and so far the sector is up about 28%, well over 28% year to date. And today we're seeing the sector gain about 6%. What's driving sentiments for insurance, and why are investors so keen on getting these insurance stocks?
Well, we know fully well that there was a timeline given to the insurance company to increase their share capital, and their paid-up capital. But I think the extension, at least they've really stepped down on that for now. But at the same time, we are seeing a situation whereby new investors are coming into those various insurance companies. And whenever this is happening, people believe that with new fund injection, the insurance sector, the insurance companies are going to do much better. So we have seen, for instance, Regency Alliance Insurance has really done well in the last 2 weeks. We've seen a situation whereby they have, that stock has gained almost 35-40%. So with the way things are, I think we are still going to see a much better performance for the insurance companies, because of we all know that new fund injection is coming in, and that they're definitely going to be much better and stronger after this time. For the banking sector, which I believe that have always been the mainstay of the market, they also were expecting quite a good performance from them, and they've not done well in the times when the Dangote Cement, Boa Cement, MTN and Airtel actually pushed up the Osha index. So we're going to see a better performance coming from such two, provided...
All right, Mr. Fakayejo, let's get into the business of today in the equity space here, where we saw the stock exchange, briefed market stakeholders on the performance of the markets today. I'd like to get what your key takeaway was so far from the engagement, talking about that recap and outlook for the markets.
Well, I think the outlook strongly is, as said, and maybe with the way various operators within the market see it, it's definitely going to be, we expect it to be much better, but the challenges before the Nigerian economy and the global economy is definitely going to be a major player in what the outcome will be. So there are so much uncertainties, and the outlook is definitely good, but the uncertainty still remains. And we believe that we reference to the performance of the market in the year 2020. We may not really see as much performance as we did see in 2020 and 2021, but I think we are still going to get better than what ordinarily had been in other years.
Can you go and tell Debbie and finish? All right, Mr. Fakayejo, just very quickly, let's get into what we're seeing play out with CAP and also Portland Paint, that measure, the scheme of measure that's coming on board. I'd like to get your thoughts on what you expect from this.
Can you take that again, please?
Yeah, the proposed merger between CAP and Portland Paints in the market. I'd just like to get your thoughts on that transaction and what you can expect from that merger.
Well, my thought on that is that CAP has been a major player and they have a very good market share. But we also know that the paint business is so large and open to almost everyone. But with the merger coming up, I believe that we're going to see a stronger CAP, provided that is the name that is going to be retained. And at the end of the day, I think investors are really optimistic that it's going to be a merger that is profitable and also good, that will actually give investors the kind of expectation that they want. So the merger between the two, I think, is a good merger, and it's definitely going to strengthen them and increase their market share. So it's something that the market looks forward to, because two strong companies coming out to be a stronger one company, I think is much better for the investors, and I think investors are really embracing it. And we're going to see that translating into their share price in recent times.